Hello, and welcome to today's esoteric collective reading. I hope you all are having a beautiful day. For those wondering, yes, it's take two of this message. So, I'm not sure if the same cards are going to come out or not, but wanted to make it known that this is take two. So, maybe you yourself are trying something out for a second time? Who knows? But, for new viewers of the channel, I have a cat, and so while right now he's just chilling off screen, if he decides to get up and move around, you may or may not hear shuffling in the background with him playing a cat toy. That's completely fine, just know it's on my side of the screen, not on yours. Other than that, we're going to get into what the collective needs to hear today. Interesting. As I was shuffling, one came out. It didn't really fall out, but it just kind of came in my hand in a way. And it's Four of Cups. So, let me center that for you. So Four of Cups is about this idea that, yes, it's distractions, and originally when it's an upright, it's this idea of like your source of divinity giving you a gift. An opportunity is what I heard in my head, but I was going to say gift. So it could be a gift in the form of an opportunity in this case. And the individual who's in, like, going off of the Rider-Waite tarot, the individual who's in that card is, instead of looking at the cup that the source of divinity is giving them, they're looking at the three spilled cups, right? So this idea that it's funny because as I was trying to say source, it said force. So it's like forcing yourself to look at the stuff that doesn't make you grateful with the spilled cups, right? When there's a full, perfectly fine cup being gifted to you by like a floating cloud, for example, in the Rider-Waite original tarot, right? In this case, we have it sideways. So for me, a sideways card is like an ongoing energy. It also is something that is something like you're working on right now. So it could be that beforehand, or maybe in the past couple of months is what I'm hearing, you could have been working on trying to be more grateful and more present in the moment, being aware of your material a lot more and being more grateful for it. This idea that one was focusing too much, I burped, which is a release of energy. So you could have recently been releasing the idea of not being grateful for the good things, releasing the idea of focusing on the bad, right? Trying to find more of a balance when it comes to what things or parts or people or aspects of your life you want to give your energy to, right? I'm going to keep pulling on this, but very interesting energy to start off with. Oh, my cards are getting all jumbled up. There could be a lot of energies right now around you. Could be very busy time, or just maybe a lot of people around you. I'm getting the idea of like you might live in a crowded house in a way. And then a card came out. And it's Four of Pentacles. Interesting. And it's in reverse. Let me fix that for you. So Four of Pentacles, which is interesting that we've got two fours. So 4-4 or 4-4-4-4 could be a synchronistic number for you. Four of Pentacles in particular is about like holding on to, particularly use finances. That's like a main example of Pentacles, right? But Pentacles can really be anything that's in your energetic material world, right? So hence why people use money as an example, because money is a form of energy that is very material, right? Yeah. So I think of like somebody dyeing their hair. I just heard that, so maybe you could be dyeing your hair or wanting to, but actually I think that's a good example because it came out in reverse. So normally, especially in the traditional Rider-Waite tarot, the Four of Pentacles is a picture of a guy like literally holding a big ass pentacle, like almost like bear hugging it in a way. So bears could be a synchronicity for you. Bears are also a symbol of protection too. So it could be that you feel like you need to protect your physical, your finances. Oh, you'll never guess what's on the bottom of my deck right now. Another four, and it's Four of Swords. So yeah, I definitely am getting the vibe that you could be in like a recovery mode in a way. Recovering from releasing control. It's interesting. It's this idea of like almost releasing the control around your scenario, releasing the control of the material and letting things flow. And that mentality is helping lead you towards the recuperation of your material, right? It's this idea of like not letting go, but letting be what it is, right? It's not, what's the word? It starts with a C. I can't think of it. But another C word of content is coming to mind. So it's like that idea of like you're content, or you're learning to be content with your material, and almost like reworking your mind in a way, especially with that Four of Swords, of reworking the mind to understand that yes, you can be aware that yes, you have those 3 spilled cups, going back to the Four of Cups, but also being aware that if you're given that 4th cup that's full, you should also be giving that your energy as well. It reminds me, I cannot tell you the source of this because I can only remember me saying it a couple of years ago, but I remember having a conversation with somebody a while back, like years ago, about like what kind of energy? Yeah, okay. What kind of energy do you want to give your energy to? So like, for example, right, let's say you're going out with friends. If you're going out with friends and you're thinking that you're going to have a great time, and you go out and you have a great time, right? Nothing bad happened. But if you go out with the mindset that you're worried that something bad might happen, if you go out and you have a great time, nothing actually bad happens, you are actively putting yourself in the mindset that you will have a bad time. Because even though nothing bad actually happened, you were constantly worried that something bad was going to happen. And by worrying about something bad is going to happen, that's the bad thing that happened, right? Instead of being in the moment and just being happy with, okay, I'm going to have a good time with friends and I'm going to have a happy mindset and then see how it goes, right? Instead of focusing on like, oh no, what if something bad happens? What if something bad happens? And you're literally sitting there hanging out with friends thinking, what if something bad happens? What if something bad happens? That worry mindset is the bad thing that is happening, if that makes sense. So it feels like you are actively reworking your mind to appreciate the good and stay more in the present goodness of the situation rather than the present badness of the situation. And I don't think you're ignoring it either, hence why it's sideways for the Four of Cups, and that especially being our first card out too. It's not that you're ignoring the bad. I don't get that at all. It's that you're finding balance between what kind of things you want to give energy to and how much energy you want to give each of those thoughts, right? It's giving, like, you're not going to want to give 100% of your energy to all of the bad thoughts. Similarly to you wouldn't want to give all of your energy to only the good, because just how the sun can be blinding, the moon can be illuminating, right? So finding your balance when it comes to what kind of thoughts you're wanting to give energy to, especially when it comes to how your material makes you think and feel. That's kind of what I'm getting here. We're going to go ahead and pull another card to clarify and see what else the collective needs to hear. Interesting. I'm going to take that as reversed. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to clarify with another card real quick, but for those listening auditory only, we got Two of Cups reversed. So Two of Cups talks about, like, I think of union whenever I see Two of Cups, but it's generally just about, like, the emotions between two people, the emotions between two people. And then last card, interesting. We'll go sideways, and I'm going to keep it on those two, because that seems important. It could be that right now in your field, either I'm getting two different things. And it could be a mixture of both, so feel free to take what resonates and leave what does not. But the first thing I'm getting is that the thing that is quote-unquote bad, that you were previously giving too much energy to, could be the lack of friends or lack of community around you. Or, second thing, could be the lack of like-minded people in those social circles as well, right? It's either like, I'm getting either, it's like the idea of having no friends or having friends but not liking who they are as people, right? I just saw 10, just straight up just 10 on the timer. So 10 is a number of completion. It could be that this is something that you've been thinking and working towards a lot, and recently you've come to almost peace with this, coming to peace with the understanding, especially with that Hanged Man being on both the material Four of Pentacles and the emotional Two of Cups. It's like this idea that you've come to peace with, you know what you want when it comes to the types of relationships, friendships, familial ships, if you will. You know what kind of connections you want in your life, and previously you may have been focusing on how you're not content with the connections in your life. I think, however, there's been a shift. There's been a change of mindset, or at least there's been active attempts. I'm getting like every day to rewire the set? Alright, rewire the set of thoughts that you're having. I was going to say mindset, but I just said set. So, it's very much being at peace with what is, knowing that you want better, knowing that obviously if out of all the tarots, you're going to want 10s across the board. But we got some 4s here. 4 is a number about like, hello queso. I think, yep, okay, hi queso. Interesting. So I have a thing where if my cat gets in a tarot reading and he steps on cards, those are the ones to pay attention to. And the only one he steps on so far is the Four of Swords. So very much this recuperation energy of the mind. And then he's just gonna chill there for now. So that's fun. But yeah, I think in order to aid you with this recuperation of the mind, I'm going to pull an All of You is Magic card, and then we'll end it off. But I do want to give you some props, because it is quite hard to be so honest with yourself about your opinions on your material, both the parts that you might agree with and the parts that you don't. But it's one of the many steps of making a life that aligns with you, right? It's that idea of needing new friends because the friends you made before were made when you were a different person, and now you don't align with those friends. And so as sad as it is to have those friendships no longer mean as much or feel as compassionate, I'm hearing, you have to clear out the old to make room for the new, right? So good on you for doing this reprogramming, because it's important to know what you want in this life, especially when it comes to the people that are around you. I don't remember exactly who said this, but it's the idea that the 10 or 6 most people around you really make up a lot of your reality, so making sure to pick those people quite wisely. Okay. Interesting. So the color green could be significant. Also red, because I'm using a red blanket too. While I'm not filming this during Christmas time, Christmas is coming up as like a synchronicity, so that could be, relevant. Oh my god, I burped twice now. You could be releasing a lot of energy right now. Maybe going through a purge. I'm also hearing Saturn return, so maybe you're going through a Saturn return right now. But yeah. Let's go ahead and read this. Making sure you can see that. I will have to refocus the camera just 1 second. There we go. You can let go now. What is for you will find you in due time. Being present in the moment allows you to walk toward what is meant for you authentically. Which, yeah, very much lines up with what we were saying. Also, my cat just stared at me while I was reading that, so I'm going to read that again because it feels very, very important for you to hear this. So, you can let go now. What is for you will find you in due time. Being present in the moment allows you to walk toward what is meant for you authentically. And then the ritual at the bottom of the card. These are good for journal entries or meditation visualization practices. Write about the things that are holding you in place and preventing your evolution. What are they protecting? And then as I put the card down, feel free to meditate on the energy of the visual. I absolutely love the art of these cards, and I think they're really good for bringing up any thoughts or memories that might be relevant to what this reading means for you, right? Because this is a little bit less of the actual reading, but just about tarot and collective readings in general. Because it's a collective reading, it's going to be a little bit vague. However, there is something in this message for you if you're here, especially if you're still here towards the end. So really sit with yourself and take time to think about what kind of thoughts are you reprogramming in the mind towards your best timeline? What kind of emotional and material connections do you want in this life? And is there anything that is holding you away or keeping you away from being at peace with your material connections and your internal world, I'm hearing too. But yeah, if you're still here, please check out my linktree to help donate money to Palestine, Sudan, Congo, Yemen, and Haiti, as well as many more. Also, if you're an immigrant, particularly in the USA, I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I hope you see a cat. In fact, I'm going to show you my cat, so forgive the camera for moving kind of jumbly real quick, but here's Queso the cat. Ain't he cute, little guy? But yeah, stay safe, have a beautiful day, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.